Hi, it's Jo Karen Hudson. Today we're going to talk about properties of real numbers, starting with the commutative property. The commutative property states that x plus y is equal to y plus x, and x times y is equal to y times x. If two numbers are added or multiplied in any order, they will give the same result. Let's start off with example 1. 2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 2. Example 2. X times 7 is the same as 7 times x. Commutative property has to do with order. The associative property. The associative property states that x plus y plus z, with the x and y in parentheses, is the same as x plus y plus z, with the y and z in parentheses. This is the one for addition. It also states that x times y times z, with the x and y grouped together, is the same as x times y times z, with the y and z grouped together. When we add or multiply three numbers, we can group them in any manner we want to and get the same result. Example 1. 9 plus 2 plus 3 is the same as 9 plus 2 plus 3. When we're multiplying, negative 2 times 3 times negative 1 is the same as negative 2 times 3 times negative 1. How can you remember the difference between the commutative property and the associative property? How can you remember the difference? Well, an association is a group of people, and the associative property uses grouping symbols. A commuter goes the same distance to and from work, and the order does not matter. These properties are only valid for addition and multiplication, not for subtraction or division. All right, let's talk about the identity property. The identity properties. 0 plus a is equal to a, and 1 times a is equal to a. The sum of 0 and any number a is equal to a. The sum of 0 plus a is equal to a. The product of 1 and any number a is equal to a. The product of 1 and any number a is equal to a. Let's look at example 1. 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. If I add 0 to any number, I get the number I started off with. Example 2. Negative 2 plus 0 is equal to negative 2. Whenever I add 0 to any number, I get what I started off with. 1 times 5 is equal to 5. Whenever I multiply by 1, I get what I started off with. 4/3 times 1 is equal to 4/3. Whenever I multiply by 1, I get what I started off with. Do you see how I got what I started off with all 4 times? Let's get some definitions now. 0 is called the additive inverse. I'm sorry, the additive identity. 0 is called the additive identity, and 1 is called the multiplicative identity. 1 is called the multiplicative identity. All right, let's talk about the inverse property. A plus the opposite A is equal to 0. And A times 1 over A is equal to 1. The inverse properties of addition and multiplication lead to the additive and multiplicative identities, respectively. The opposite of A is the additive inverse of A. The opposite of A is the additive inverse of A. The opposite of A is negative A. The reciprocal of A is the multiplicative inverse of A. The reciprocal of A is 1 over A. Example 1. Negative 5 plus 5 is equal to 0. Those are additive inverses, or those are opposites, and they are equal to 0. 1/8 plus negative 1/8 is equal to 0. Those are opposites. They are additive inverses. Find the additive inverse of negative 4. The additive inverse of negative 4 is positive 4. What about negative 1/6 times negative 6? Negative 1/6 times negative 6 over 1. Those are reciprocals of each other, and they will give you 1. They are reciprocals. When you multiply two reciprocals, you get 1. If you were actually to multiply this out, though, you could see that you would get 1 because the 6's would cancel, and then negative 1 times negative 1 would be positive 1. These two numbers are reciprocals as well. Whenever you multiply a number times its reciprocal, you get 1. And I could prove this by doing 2/7 times 7/2 is equal to 14 over 14, which would equal to 1. Or I could cancel everything out and show that it's equal to 1. But we need to know that whenever we multiply a number times its reciprocal, it will give us 1. Find the multiplicative inverse of 9. The multiplicative inverse of 9 is 1/9. It is the reciprocal of 9. The distributive property. For addition, A times B plus C is equal to A times B plus A times C, which is equal to AB plus AC. For subtraction, A times B minus C is equal to A times B minus A times C, which is equal to AB minus AC. Example 1. 5 times x plus y. I'm going to distribute the 5 with both the x and the y. 5 times x would be 5x, plus 5 times y would be 5y. Example 2. 3 times x minus 2. I'm going to distribute the 3 with both of them. 3 times x would give us 3x minus 3 times 2 would give us 6. 3 times x minus 2 would give us 3x minus 6. Negative 2 times 7 minus y. Negative 2 times 7 gives us negative 14, and negative 2 times negative y gives us plus 2y. And number 4, negative 3 times 5 plus x. Negative 3 times 5 gives us negative 15, and negative 3 times positive x gives us negative 3x. This concludes this video. You need to do the homework, section 2.4. You need to do the quiz, section 2.4. This is Jo Karen. Thanks, and have a great day.